It was a warm summer morning in London, and Hyde Park was bustling with activity. Families were gathered for picnics, children laughed and played near the fountains, and joggers made their way along the winding paths. Among the lively crowd, David Beckham had chosen this day for a peaceful walk. His life, often surrounded by flashing cameras, packed schedules, and high-profile commitments, rarely afforded him moments like these. As he strolled under the canopy of lush green trees, Beckham felt a sense of calm that was a rarity in his otherwise whirlwind life. Walking near the lake, he noticed the soft ripples of water, the gliding swans, and the sun, reflecting off the surface in glimmering rays. The chatter of families and the occasional bark of a dog filled the air. For Beckham, this was a rare slice of serenity, until he heard a faint, distinct sound. It was crying, the kind of crying that pierced through the cheerful atmosphere of the park. Beckham stopped mid-step, his ears attuned to the sound. His gaze scanned the area, and finally, under the sprawling branches of an oak tree, he saw a small boy sitting alone. The child's face was buried in his hands, and his shoulders shook as he sobbed quietly. Beckham instinctively moved toward him, his concern growing with every step. "Hey there," he said gently, crouching down to meet the boy's eye level. "Are you okay? What's your name?" The boy looked up, his tear-streaked face a mixture of fear and relief. "My name's Oliver," he said, his voice trembling. I lost my mom. I don't know where she is." David's heart sank at the boy's distress. Oliver looked no older than 6 or 7. Sitting there alone, he seemed so small, so vulnerable. "It's all right, Oliver," Beckham said softly. "We're going to find your mum. I promise. But first, why don't you take my hand? We'll figure this out together." Oliver hesitated, his little hand hovering in the air before he finally reached out and took Beckham's. David gave it a reassuring squeeze. At that moment, Beckham knew this wasn't just about reuniting a boy with his mother, it was about making sure Oliver felt safe. As they began walking toward the more crowded parts of the park, Beckham discreetly pulled out his phone. He quickly alerted park officials about Oliver's situation and then opened his social media. He typed out a post, "I'm at Hyde Park with a little boy named Oliver who's lost his mom. If anyone has seen her, please reach out." Beckham knew his post could reach thousands of people in mere minutes, but he also realized it might take time. In the meantime, he turned his attention back to Oliver, who was visibly anxious. Spotting an ice cream vendor nearby, Beckham knelt down and asked, "Do you like ice cream?" Oliver sniffled and nodded. "All right," Beckham said with a smile. "Let's get you a cone while we wait. My treat." They sat on a wooden bench near the lake, the bright sunlight casting playful shadows around them. Oliver held the cone tightly with both hands, licking it slowly. Beckham leaned back, watching him quietly for a moment before breaking the silence. "So, Oliver, do you play soccer?" he asked casually. Oliver's face lit up for the first time since they'd met. "I love soccer," he said, his voice brimming with excitement. But then his tone dropped. "But we don't have enough money for a ball or anything." Beckham felt his chest tighten. The boy's words revealed a reality that many faced, but hearing it from a child made it even harder to process. "You know," Beckham said after a pause, "when I was your age, I didn't have much either. But do you know what I did have?" Oliver looked at him curiously. "What?" "A dream," Beckham replied. "And sometimes, that's all you need to start with." For the next hour, Beckham kept Oliver entertained with stories of his childhood, how he had fallen in love with soccer, the makeshift games he played with his friends, and the challenges he faced growing up. Oliver listened intently, his ice cream forgotten as he hung on every word. Finally, Beckham's phone buzzed. It was a message from the park officials. "We've found Oliver's mother," it read. Beckham's face lit up. "Good news, buddy," he said, standing and holding out his hand. "They've found your mum. Let's go see her." Oliver's eyes widened with hope as he grabbed Beckham's hand tightly. They walked quickly to the meeting point, where a woman was pacing nervously near a group of park rangers. The moment she saw Oliver, she ran to him, dropping to her knees and pulling him into a tight embrace. "I was so scared," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. Turning to Beckham, she said, "Thank you so much. I don't know what I would have done without your help." David waved off her thanks with a modest smile. "I'm just glad he's safe. That's what matters." As the adrenaline began to fade, Beckham struck up a conversation with Oliver's mom. He learned she was a single mother working 2 jobs just to keep a roof over their heads. Times were tough, but she was doing everything she could for her son. Listening to her story, Beckham felt a sense of purpose stir within him. "You know," he said thoughtfully, "I run a soccer academy not far from here. I'd love for Oliver to join us. All the gear, training, it'll be completely free." The woman's eyes widened in disbelief. "Are you serious?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Absolutely," Beckham replied. "He's got so much passion for the game. I'd hate for him to miss out just because of a tough situation." Oliver's face lit up as he looked at his mom. "Can I really play soccer, Mom? For real?" She nodded, her voice choked with emotion. "Yes, Oliver, you can." The following week, Oliver joined Beckham's academy. At first, he was shy and unsure of himself, but under the guidance of the coaches and the occasional encouragement from Beckham, he began to thrive. With each practice, his confidence grew. Soon, Oliver became a favorite among his teammates, not just for his growing skills, but for his infectious enthusiasm. Beckham made it a point to check in on Oliver regularly. He attended his games when he could, offering advice and cheering him on from the sidelines. Over time, Oliver's skills flourished, and his outlook on life brightened. One day, after scoring his first goal in a friendly match, Oliver ran up to Beckham on the sidelines. "Thank you, Mr. Beckham," he said, throwing his arms around him. "You've changed my life." David knelt down, smiling. "You're the one doing the hard work, Oliver. Just promise me one thing. When you see someone who needs help, you'll do the same for them." "I promise," Oliver said firmly, his eyes shining with determination. As Beckham walked away that evening, he felt a quiet sense of fulfillment. A chance encounter had turned into something life-changing, not just for Oliver and his mom, but for himself as well. At Story Dash, we bring you stories of hope, kindness, and change, just like this one. If this story moved you, please like the video, share it with friends, and subscribe for more inspiring content. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a story that could brighten your day. Thank you for watching, and remember, even the smallest act of kindness can make the biggest difference. See you in the next video.